Hello, thank you so much for being here this afternoon, and welcome to Grand Rapids Tuba Christmas. Tuba Christmas was started decades ago by Harvey Phillips, who was the tuba euphonium professor at the University of Indiana, played in the Sousa Band early in his life, as well as the Barnum and Bailey's Circus Band, just a remarkable life and a remarkable tuba player. That was Bill Bell, played in the Sousa Band and the circus bands. And Harvey Phillips was one of his students who was the tuba professor at University of Indiana. And Harvey Phillips started Tuba Christmas in honor of his teachers. So thank you for being here to celebrate tuba and euphonium music with us and to recognize all of our teachers who have helped us along the way. That, of course, was We Three Kings, which originally comes from a Christmas play, and the parts were originally sung by Melchior, Gaspar, and I'm going to mix it up now, Melchior, Balthazar, and Caspar, the three wise men. And next we're going to play a less well-known Christmas tune. This is titled Sleep, O Child of Mine. This is a lullaby sung by Mary trying to lull the baby Jesus to sleep. Deck the Halls is probably the most famous Christmas carol with all the fa-la-la-la-las. There are many of them as you start digging into the tradition of Christmas carols that have that. And those fa-la-las actually come from imitating instruments with voices. Originally, you would sing the carols, you would sing a verse, and then the instruments would play for a little bit, and then you would sing a little bit, and then you play. But then what do you do if you don't have your instruments, or you don't have your musicians with you, and you still want to dance and sing in the Christmas spirit? Well, you provide the instrumental part yourself with the fa-la-la-la-las. E naturals, A naturals. Tuba Christmas happens all over the country. Many events happen outdoors in the cold. Some of them were able to use beautiful sanctuaries like this. I've seen this past year YouTube videos of a Tuba Christmas in an airplane hangar, which actually sounded surprisingly good, and also in a cave, a gigantic underground cave, and they had a Tuba Christmas in there. I think this is the beautiful acoustics in Fountain Street Church here, about as close to that as we could get. What a wonderful place to play. The very first Tuba Christmas happened in New York City at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. And when Harvey Phillips was trying to set that up, he kept calling the facilities people at 30 Rock, and they kept treating him like he was nuts. What's this guy doing, trying to get a bunch of tuba players to play in front of the Christmas tree in New York City? And so finally, Mr. Phillips used one of the cards that he had, and he had, being the professional tuba player that he was, and having played with the New York Philharmonic, he happened to know Leonard Bernstein very well. And so he said, well, please ask Leonard Bernstein about this. And he got a call back the next day, and the facilities manager at 30 Rock says, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Bernstein says you can have anything you want. Strong, beautiful tuba sound. Euphonium's not too loud. Clarity first. We had a group travel all the way from Lansing today. We have the Spartan Euphoniums with us today, and they've asked to play Fago, and we'll let them do that in just a moment. As they're preparing themselves for that, I want to thank Karen Dunham, who is right over there. Karen is our Tuba Christmas coordinator. She does all of the legwork and all of the heavy lifting. She makes my job super easy. I just get to show up and make music with my friends, which is awesome. It's literally a dream to get to just come and conduct a bunch of tubas and euphoniums. And Karen takes care of all of the behind-the-scenes stuff and all of the logistics. So let's give her one more round of applause, please.
Test. Yay, it's on. Could we get a hand for Connor Bardalis at the soundboard? Last time I was here looking out like this, I was up there taping a sermonette for our summer series. It was broadcast in August. If you go to YouTube, you can enjoy it after the fact. And because this view is so good and the view just looking at somebody in the pulpit isn't, I added lots of images that the AV department threw in. And if you care about instrumental music, you're here. You'll like the sermon, so take a look at that. We have some people who traveled far and wide, and I'd like to recognize a few others for special things that they did. We always have somebody from Royal Oak. He's percussionist. He got himself a baritone so he could play with us. We have somebody from Philadelphia up there in the upper deck. Somebody from Valparaiso, Indiana, down here. And somebody from Encinitas, California. Yay! You know you're dedicated when you travel that far. Also, Traverse City showed up. A few other random locations showed up because so many of these Tuba Christmas events were canceled this year. So they all showed up. This year we have about 70 musicians. This is the most we've ever had. We've got some middle schoolers who are 13, 14, 15 years old. Could you folks stand up? Teenage middle schoolers, yay. And we have some people on the other end of the spectrum who've been playing for a lot more decades than that. Age 70, age 80, age 85, if you could raise your hand. During my previous little chat, I forgot to tell you that they want a picture of everybody holding their instrument in the air. So, think we could do that? Want to practice right now? Go ahead. Put your instruments off as high as you can. I haven't done this for a couple years, so I forgot to tell them that. I mentioned my sermon. I went to one of our Big Ten schools in '74, and then I transferred to the other Big Ten school in '76, which happened to be the year that one of our section mates organized and arranged the Fago boat song. I was one of the very first people in the section to play the boat song. They invited me to join them, but I'm on a tuba today. So I said, well, of course we can play a Fago boat song. So here we are, the Spartan baritones with Fago.
24. A little bit of space on repeated notes. We're going to invite Rick and Jordan to come up real quick. They're going to play a duet for you on O Come, Emmanuel. eighth notes moving tubas. One of the fun things about coming to Tuba Christmas, both as a player and as a conductor and as an audience member, is you get to see all kinds of unique looking instruments. It's almost like we've dropped ourselves into a Dr. Seuss book. We have euphoniums and baritones, which are the smaller instruments you see up here. They play in the middle of the bass clef. The difference between a euphonium and a baritone is basically the same as the difference between a trumpet and a cornet. The short explanation is they're just slightly different shapes. You see tubas in all kinds of different keys behind me. We have tubas in the key of B flat, which is what most school tubas play in. We have tubas in the key of C. I know we have an E flat and an F tuba back there as well, which are about halfway between a contrabass tuba and a euphonium. We have some alto horns. We have a double-belled euphonium. We have a couple helicons, which are the big things that wrap around you and have a bell going off that way. And then we also have some sousaphones, of course, which are the big marching tubas that you see in marching band. We have a few of those, named after John Philip Sousa. In this case, it's not a sousaphone like Dr. Seuss. It's a sousaphone like the March King. Did I forget any? 33. national emblem. 23. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. What a joy and what a blessing it is to be able to play all of us together and to be able to play for all of you this afternoon. So thank you all so much for coming and making this a special afternoon for us. Sing the last verse, then fermata on the last note. National emblem. Thank you all for coming. Merry Christmas. Thank you all for playing.